Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Randwin Parked. This is episode number 51 with your hosts, Cone Dodger, that's me, Kurt J. Mac, that's him,
That's me.
and ZK.
I think that's me.
Are we sure? Are we really sure?
I don't know what anything is anymore.
This is episode 51, which means that it's the super special episode that has this name for it. What's the name for the 51st of something?
I don't think there is one.
No?
I think we call it the 51st thing.
Ah, that sounds good.
Or I could Google it, but like
I don't think it's gonna get any.
My high school Spanish is not. Yeah.
It's not gonna get any better than the awful term that was the 50th. I don't think anybody threw any fits about replacing Mildly Interesting with Auction Watch, but nobody was excited either. I don't think we got any
ZK.
positive or negative feedback from it. I didn't tell them that, by the way, we're going to make that the regular thing until a few hours ago. And yeah, I think that's going to be the future. That's the future. Is Mildly Interesting becomes Auction Watch.
Or ZK does what he wants.
There pretty much is no rules to this show. Like, and we've been doing it long enough at this point that does anybody really care about format?
If you don't follow the rules, we're not renewing your contract.
Oh no. Is any
You have a contract?
Is there any car news this week? I have car stories of boringness. Does anybody have any revelations in the car world?
I've been looking at new cars, but that'll come up later.
Oh,
This isn't a new car show.
yeah.
Your contract is null and void.
Right. We didn't get the rights to cover new cars.
I already said I didn't have a contract, Kurt.
No.
I'm here month by month.
Loopholes.
Where was Kurt
Speaking-
last? Right. You.
Where was I last?
Well, we were talking about the Corolla last time, right?
Correct. And I am still awaiting my auction specialist to be assigned to me at Bring a Trailer.
So like, you're on the auction block of being on the auction block right now.
True, yes. I'm in the queue outside the building.
Have they
Waiting.
at least like talked to you at all?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, have they actually like gotten back to you or?
No, yeah, like pretty immediately I got an email because you submit your auction and then you wait. But yeah, I pretty immediately got an email from, I looked him up and he's like their head of auctions or something
okay.
like that. And then he's the one who recommended it be a no reserve auction and yada yada. We could get it up in a couple weeks. I don't know how true that statement was.
Yeah, it feels like that's come and gone.
I think it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has.
So soon maybe.
Soon, and yeah, after that is then when they're like, okay, we'll send the actual like the next thing, and then the next thing is to pay the $99. So I've done that.
Oh.
So I've got skin in the game, and now I'm just waiting for a specialist.
Gotcha.
In many aspects of my life.
A little pre-show content.
How many specialists can one person have? I don't have anything terribly grand or exciting other than trying to work on cars right now is very depressing because you can't get any parts. And then you order things.
Are they all in the canal?
The boat's unstuck, CK.
Oh.
We missed the boat in that joke. I just heard both of them rip their non-existent contracts up.
Anyway, have you heard about the Subaru Wilderness Edition Outback for 2022?
You're really pushing this, aren't you?
What? I missed this.
Kurt's an influencer.
I'm an influencer. I want to be influenced right into the seat of a 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition.
Can you tell me what this Wilderness Edition has different than the normal Outback?
It's basically all of the aftermarket mods that people do to their Subarus, except straight from the factory. You get your off-road Geolander Geo 1.5
GeoGuessr?
tires, raised ride height of skid plate,
And
for
they,
wilderness.
is there graphics?
Do they also include the flat bill and the vape pen?
Maybe as options, but there is, and I know Cohen loves this. They've included a glare-reducing black hood decal.
So they didn't paint it black. They put like vinyl on it, stock.
Yes, it's not the whole hood, unfortunately, but it's some of the hood.
Wait. I have to go. You said it's out.
Wilderness edition.
It's like Subaru goes out of their way to make things I don't like.
So it's like a stripe down the middle of the hood.
No, it's like there's other cars that have had this. I don't know what they are, but probably like the Toyota FJ whatever. It's just like the center.
Yeah, like the bulge in the hood is
Yeah.
black.
Yes,
Yeah.
the bulge.
Yep.
Thank you. The central bulge in the hood.
So the part that is not in front of the driver that would be
Right.
causing glare.
Right.
Probably. But apparently
What
there's
is your
going to be
involvement with this?
What's that?
What is your involvement with this?
His involvement
than
is
the-
he wants Subaru to give him a Subaru.
Yes, I'm going on a Western road trip this summer, and that would be the perfect.
A Western road
it's an
trip? You can't get much more
Western road
Western.
I feel
Well,
like our memo system is broken and I missed something.
It's in the early planning stages, but
Okay.
So for Kurt,
Well, let's get Kurt in a 2020 Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition.
2022.
2022.
2022, sorry.
They're also going to release the Forester Wilderness Edition,
Ooh.
the Crosstrek Wilderness Edition. It's also the Turbo Outback. They brought back the Turbo XT models of the Outbacks.
Honestly,
So here's hoping that the old ones start going down in price.
But Kurt, what makes a Subaru a Subaru?
head gasket? Oh,
Actually, I wasn't going to go with that, but let's go with that.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I'm not a fan of the cladding and the like black bumpers and stuff, but
I would have
Overall.
included pictures in this video of it, but it's 9:22 p.m. This goes up at noon
Yeah.
tomorrow. So, shall we get on with the show?
Please.
Please. Ranwin Parked. For Ranwin Park this week, I have what I think might be like the most common Ranwin Parked vehicle at this point.
Hey, is that you?
Knew it. I knew it. There was two reasons I picked this. One, it's a good Ranwin Park. Two is the fact that I am in the background, apparently. But it kills me to say this. Now it's like a younger me, even though he was older than me at this point. Anyway, this is a 1964 Ford Falcon. Straight as an arrow. Ran perfect when parked. Very clean and straight car. Don't...
And then they got stabbed.
I think it probably said like don't wait on this one or something like that. It's gonna sell quick. This one's really weird because it's in this shed that was clearly abandoned. Like everything's falling through the roof onto this vehicle.
Yeah, I can say there's like daylight coming through the slats in the roof.
Yeah, and like there must have been very confused people because the wall is just full of Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. memorabilia in this garage that has a Ford in it, which is a choice. And this Falcon is like pelted with whatever has happened to this garage. But it is very clearly a barn find. And can you believe they didn't include the words barn find?
well, obviously it's not a barn.
It's a man cave.
I don't know that it's straight as an arrow.
It looks like it smells like a man cave.
Ooh, I don't like those words together, ZK. I don't. No, that bad ear feel. Other than that, it's a 1964 Ford Falcon 4-door. If you want to be
But they didn't take a picture of the front of it.
right, like it's a super. It really gives me the vibes of somebody opened up this shed or man cave or whatever and was like, Jim Bob had a Falcon, didn't he? I'll take some pictures, throw it on Marketplace. But it could be yours for $2,500. Or what did regulars sell for? Like $5,000 or something? Oh, it went for
10 grand. Yeah.
Yeah, that was with a swap and everything.
Right, like modernized, ready to be driven, versus start from scratch at $2,500. I don't know. And why is the back window busted out and the front windshield has this suspicious looking mark in the front of it?
This head-shaped crater in front of the passenger.
What do you think happened to Jim Bob?
Maybe he was just really, really upset when Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired.
That reminds me, I'm sad I definitely probably got rid of it, but my sister used to work at a bar and she gave me like a 7-foot tall like vinyl banner of like Budweiser Dale Earnhardt Jr. thing.
And you got rid of it?
And I got rid of it.
Do you know how perfect that would be in my garage?
I know.
And how hilarious that would be.
Every time you walk in there, it's like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good. Kurt, what you got?
For you royalty out there, I have a 1964 Pontiac Bonneville for $4,000. A limousine / family car. I don't know what that part of the description means. Ran Park a few years ago. Blown head gasket. He says they only made 14 of them, but I don't know how true that could be.
People don't lie on the internet, Kurt.
No. Floor pans are rusted out. I'm sure those are very secure jack points up in the bumper area in the front there. But basically a Pontiac Bonneville with a very long passenger door.
Yeah. It's stretched
out.
But only in the rear door.
Right.
Yeah. By like 2 feet.
So you get a lot more leg room. But is it a limousine?
If there are interior pictures, I don't know if I'd call it a limousine, but it's
where do we make the line of a limo or not?
Well, if it's not a limo, what is it, right?
It's a family car.
Well,
They
like,
had to make
so
two.
let's take the example of like one of the long
Wait a
wheelbase
damn
Bentleys or
second.
something.
It's more like a bus.
There's an extra seat. So,
Yeah,
like,
they squeezed an extra row of seats in there.
this is bad. Oh.
This
Yeah.
reminds me of those like weird airport cars.
I was thinking the same thing. It gives me the vibe of those like airport cars that are just like they weren't meant to be limousines. They were just meant to be people movers. Like
like
short distance,
ferries. Yeah.
many people. But why would you do it and not add more doors?
Yeah, well, I think the most we saw, they usually have like 6 doors.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they like
Huge door.
they like replicate the back doors again in the middle or whatever. But no, this one they stretched the back doors. Huh. Why?
Huh.
Why have they done this?
60s were a crazy time.
Yep. Crazy time. Ah,
They only made 12 of them apparently, but 2 of them are in my state and ran when parked.
well now that's
This is
just
a
weird, Kurt.
63. It is weird.
These are obviously different places, so it's not like one guy owns 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
True. Actually, this ad I've had for a little bit, but that other ad came up and I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
They're definitely not the same one and they're definitely not in the same area.
But it's
But they're definitely the same thing.
oh, this one's for James though.
Yeah, it's for James.
Wow. That's really weird.
Yeah, this one didn't have any interior pictures, which is why I never included it. But
ZK,
Did you
is
ever
that
do any?
is that a
I
Ford?
was gonna say, yes, I think so. No, it could be a Dodge.
Oh, because I'm gonna say there was in this one there was very clearly a dent side.
Yeah, no, because that looks like a Dodge.
Thought maybe there was a
Like
connection.
the round headlights ones.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you were saying about this thing.
So, like, did you actually do any research into this? Like, was this like we said, like the airport thing? Like, was this like a Seattle company that made 12 of them? So they're all still there?
It was 14.
we don't do research on this show, ZK.
I mean,
They only made 14.
you
14.
most likely won't ever see another one.
I just noticed there's a big difference between them. As I'm going back and forth. Look at the
They're
back.
different years, aren't they?
Yeah, this one's got a big stripe in the back. Like the fin thing. And this one's slab-sided in the back.
It has the trim in the front.
Yeah. The
what
trunk
year is
looks
this?
bizarrely long on this one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bizarrely long. Everything about this picture upsets me.
So, yeah. It almost look. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable picture. You've made me uncomfortable, Kurt. Good job.
I just searching 64 Bonneville limousine. There's other ones out there that exist, and this one's in Indiana.
Why? Are you gonna like find all 14 of
Right,
them?
yeah, that's your
Yes.
that's now your mission in life, Kurt.
My collection is complete.
Make a blog post and just yeah.
ZK.
1995 Ford E350 grooming van.
A grooming van.
A grooming van. And as the description says, this is our first truck, has been perfect for the job. Pet grooming has the power stroke, 7.3 diesel and transmission, no more than 2,000 mileage ago. We have 2 more vans this time to let it go. Parked in our driveway. This truck needs a costume wrap or paint job and blower for the pet grooming service and is ready to start making money. Price to sale, perfect for a starter.
Did you practice this?
No, I did not. I'm actually very impressed with myself. I'm so proud.
It needs a costume wrap.
That's what it says.
I've lost it.
Oh, it's supposed to be custom, isn't it? I was thinking like the Dumb and Dumber, like a costume. It just needs big fluffy ears.
So
Oh,
it's
boy.
pretty sure it was an ambulance at one point. Has now been turned into like a dog grooming van, and it is mostly pink, but severely faded.
The inside's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Okay, it's
I was hoping
scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was hoping this would like get those same vibes as the ice cream truck.
You know what? That I was thinking that when it first popped up, I was like, why does this make me less uncomfortable than the ice cream truck did?
Because it's a bright, fun color.
Like, this should be a terrifying image. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it.
With the
No, that-
random taped-in fans in the wall.
But yeah, this is definitely an ambulance. Having seen the inside of an ambulance before.
Yep. I think it's actually like the exact same model, Kurt, as the one you're probably thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is like-
it seems very much like it.
Eerily similar. Huh.
Also, like the front, like usually a lot of these like service vehicles, like the front passenger area gets really worn, but this is in surprisingly decent shape.
Yeah, it's not bad. Really, the worst
Okay.
part about it is the outside.
Mhm.
How many dollars? Are we gonna start a company? Oh, that's too many dollars.
It's a 7.3 Power Stroke.
If it was a 7.5, I'd be interested, but
That
one
would
likes
really
the
help
seven.
with the grooming of dogs.
right.
Haven't you watched the latest boss video? He just like threw out the 460.
That's why I am 190% sure I am never going to get picked for that car show. Like, I'm telling you, ZK, like, guilted me into entering this DeBoss car show thing. And everything I've ever done is everything that man hates.
For those listeners, that is the international,
Sure.
like international but net car show thing.
Rolls off the
I forget
tongue.
where you find it. Cone should put a link in the description, but he won't. But
Probably not.
there's a voting thing.
Great plug.
There's prizes, Cone. You can get like a Jegs gift card.
I would love to. Really, all I want is for one of them to be in one of the finalists where, like, if it was at least
Like-
in the list that they have to scroll through, that would make me happy.
Yeah, like so, like there's like the top 20 or whatever
Right.
that they actually have to look at.
Right. That would be satisfaction enough for me. But it was definitely a mistake to even enter it, and mistakes are all we know. And if I was a person that had good GameStop stonks, I would be wasting immense amounts of money on this vehicle. Because
That's a lot of dollars.
it's a lot of dollars, but I love it to my core. This is a 1971 Datsun 521 that is possibly the most perfect Datsun 521 I've ever seen, in my opinion. I like it a lot. And it's at this like questionable dealership kind of thing, but
Could you get a loan?
don't even
Now there's a
say
mistake.
don't even
Yeah,
say
that's a-
words like that.
That's a mistake on a mistake.
Because I like it a lot. I really like the paint
So-
scheme for one.
I was going to say everything must be correct in the universe right now because I hate the paint scheme.
Really?
I don't like the black with the white roof.
I love
Like-
it. And it's like off-white. How does Kurt feel about this?
I like it. I guess I have no strong opinions about it.
This is the
It's-
perfect spectrum. Cone loves it, ZK hates it, and Kurt doesn't care. That's like the brilliant solution to everything right there.
Kurt is indifferent. Never.
I like the white walls. I like the red wheels with the chrome centers.
You hate. Are you okay?
I like the front lip.
I do like the front lip.
It's got just a basic L18 or L16 in it. It probably has a title, unlike the other Datsun truck that I am aware of. $7,000
I think
is the
I
number I
like
would.
everything about this truck, other than the color.
I like the hood too. I like the kind of cowled up hood.
Yeah, it's okay. But the color, the paint, the wheel and tire combo, no.
Why are you this way? What happened to you?
Why are you this way? You have literally said that, like, you took the red wheels off of your ramp truck because you said you hated the red wheels and that you would never paint the new wheels red.
But they didn't have chrome centers, and it wasn't a black truck, and it didn't have white walls.
You have a paintbrush?
She's not relevant to this discussion. Let me have this, CK. Just let me have it.
I will because
You're
even-
gonna give me $10,000 so I can buy it.
because regardless of everything else,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mini truck.
It is a
Therefore,
mini truck,
I
and it's
approve.
kind of like OG mini truck too.
Yes.
All right.
Although
I-
13 grand is way too much.
way too
No,
much
yeah,
money.
that's insane.
That's twice as much as I would pay for that easily.
Yeah.
Ducks, please get the title for the Datsun. I really want to work on it. All right. Road trip.
Road trip.
Kurt,
See, talk
have you
about
bought
the road
this
trip.
yet? Please buy this.
I don't know. A 1973 Toyota, unfortunately named Chinook Camper, $9,200 seems a wee bit steep, but
As a expert in the Toyota Chinooks, this is not an awful price for these.
I knew ZK was going to be like.
it is one of these. This one has the 18RC.
Yeah, I was reading that. I'm like, the heck is that?
Yeah, which I'm not familiar with. The predecessor or precursor, excuse me, to the 20R. They're moving, so they can't take it with them.
It's a vehicle you live in.
It could be a house itself. They went on for pages and pages about all the stuff.
Well, they did say, I could wax poetic about this rig forever.
They
So
did.
I
I didn't include their poetry. But this is one of the, I guess, the earlier, front end designs of the. What would it be? The Toyota Hilux, I suppose.
Yeah. So it's a early Toyota pickup with a camper on the back, but it's the pop top type.
The pop top fiberglass.
I'm raising my hand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything bent, or is this a camera lens trick?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I noticed there's holes in the canvas there.
There is, yes.
I'm sure that's not cheap to replace.
I also realized distinctly that even with the pop top, there is no way Kurt can stand in this vehicle.
Probably not. Probably not. But
Probably not.
Easier than the back of a Crosstrek or 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition.
Maybe they'll include a tent with him.
They did say the new roof rack is now tent, roof rack tent compatible. This person's taking it on adventures.
That's cool. This is just a cool picture. This picture makes me happy.
So, one thing about these Toyota campers, they're very slow.
Oh, yes.
Now, the pop top has the benefit of that there's less aerodynamic drag when it's down. And also, I know Cone is laughing because every single drawer and cabinet here has a different knob.
It's like they bought a sample bag.
Honestly, I appreciate this. I like this.
Every
one wrong-
destination, a new knob for memories.
Wait, what?
Every destination, a new knob.
That's how you catch things.
Lovely. That does not look safe. Look how close it is to the canvas.
Close to the canvas.
Fine. It's fine.
Oh boy.
The bucket seats are in fabulous condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But really, the one I want is the Sun Raider.
Sun
I
Raider,
believe is
yeah.
what it's called.
Is it Sun Raider or
It's
Sun
the
Chaser?
Raider.
Raider. Okay.
There's also the Dolphin. But the Sun Raider is the one with the whole fiberglass, camper.
Finger.
Oh, finger.
Oh shoot! I forgot about that. I was gonna play bingo during this. Oh well.
Oh, you did say that. You might as well start now.
I'll do it next time.
Too late.
Yeah. That's a cool picture.
That is a cool picture.
You could
But
be
the
having
Sun Raider
adventures.
also came in one of the 4x4 models.
Ah.
So
So
those are
even slower.
extremely rare. Yes, they're super slow. Also, did you know that Toyota actually made this chassis or the later one in a 1-ton version with a dually?
With a dually. Yeah, I've seen those.
I saw one on the road with a normal bed on it. It was very strange seeing a dually old Tacoma.
I mean, it's very strange in general, but
Yes.
So yeah, Kurt has just fully leaned into the mistakes ZK would make.
So there's also a nice Instagram. I think it's called Small Truck Campers. You should follow it.
Did you start it?
Yeah, is that yours?
I wish I could make bank on that.
Oh,
Now for
ZK.
something completely different.
What the hell?
It is a 2002 Mini Cooper S hatchback 2-door that has been done up as like an actual track car.
Has it
like
been done
wide
up,
body?
or is it?
Yes? Question mark. But like it comes with like slicks and everything, and they want $7,500 for it. And personally, even though it's a mini, I believe this would be great fun on a track. And $7,500 for like a track car is not the worst thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes with like spares and stuff.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And it's bright green, which gives it many points. And it has this awesome car cover that
That's-
fits the giant wing.
That is impressive. Oh, is it a supercharged one?
I think so.
I think I see the blower underneath of it.
Yeah.
I've always thought these were super cool, but every time I've said that, people go, "No."
Yeah. These are literally everything I've heard about any of the BMW minis is like, get it on a lease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, this person's a tragic, apparently.
Yeah, but like, this car is kind of cool.
Mini X. Yeah, I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was like a body kitted car. Like I thought somebody was like, ha ha ha, he made a race car, but it's just a street car. But then I noticed that the sunroof was like riveted closed and its cage
It's got a little
is.
vent for the driver on top. I think it's got a cage. The
No,
picture doesn't really.
I saw the roll hoop coming down the. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like
At least a
fully caged.
Is that just a rear hoop or is it?
No,
got
it's up the
forward?
front too. You see the front.
Oh
part
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So yeah. Street legal. Do not drive this on the streets.
No,
Do
unless you
not.
want to wear the harness and a helmet
Yeah.
on the street. It's got a window net.
Like I'm adventurous. I would probably take it to like a car show or something like that. But I would not.
Yeah.
I would not drive this on the street.
But this just looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Even if like the engine is stock, because it kind of looks stock other than like the
I'm
intake.
sure,
Maybe
yeah.
it's got a tune on it or something. They said there's like too many mods to list or whatever, and then actually didn't do the whole list. So
I mean, it doesn't really need a lot of work. These things scooted. Like they weren't slow. They were just really also very fast at going back to the service station.
Mm-hmm. But just race car things.
Who is this?
That is a Green Goblin bobblehead
I think so.
from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Maybe that's the like, what's the word?
The comments will tell
Like
us.
spirit animal of the car, because the car is also green.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have any of the purple.
Well, ZK, you surprised me on that one. That was just in the mistake section, ZK is going to post a BMW Mini. Not things I would have said going into this. All right, it's time
I'm glad I
for
can still keep you on your toes.
it's time for the hot new sensation sweeping the nation, everybody's favorite Random Park segment, Auction Watch.
I feel like we need like we need Kurt to do the like,
Right,
old
we need
news.
something.
Oh dear.
Like do.
Next week with the
All right.
bingo card.
Okay, all right. So I think I was the only one that picked one that didn't sell last week, which was the Brat.
Mm.
And it did sell for $8,600.
Give me like 2 seconds. Continue.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, because I do feel like, if you remember, it wasn't super nice, but it was a good driver car, I would say, which is what they said. An excellent driver,
like,
great car.
I think the thing you said was like every panel had a small dent in it.
Right, yeah. Everything on it had been beat up, basically. I don't think in the real world, without nostalgia like injecting itself into your veins, this is an $8,600 car. I feel like 4 years ago, this was a $2,600 car. And now
You might be right.
it's just like, oh my gosh, those were so cool, weren't they? But then, like, you just paid $8,600 for a car you pretty much literally can't do anything with besides car shows. So I don't know if it's a great thing that these are selling for this much money. I feel like people are going to be bummed when they pay this much for a Brat. I've not personally driven one yet, but like the only thing I want to do with one is to like resto mod it and make it into something that's usable instead of something that's like super original and just like it was in 81. Because I think there was a reason that people stopped driving them.
So today, Bring a Trailer just ended an auction for a 87. That's a square headlight one.
Mm-hmm. It's like a 5-liter.
This one was pretty much perfect that I can see just scrolling through it real quick. That sold for $10,000.
I mean, that to me says that this went for way too much. Because the square headlight ones, I know I love the round headlight ones, but the square headlight ones are much more usable. Like, they have more power, they have the better kind of four-wheel drive setup, the T-tops. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just because the site was brand new and someone was like, sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't. It's hard to say whether it's nostalgia like things or just current rad popularity thing, or maybe it's just like survivorship bias where
That
all
too.
the Brats are just dead, so the only ones that are left are expensive.
Some of that. And I do think this whole auction site sensation is driving up prices. Like, it's getting people more excited than they should be, which I know those words are probably strong, especially for somebody amongst us probably posting a car. No, you should definitely pay as much as you can on an auction site for a vehicle.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know that it's a bad thing. It just makes me sad because I'm poor. However, in the first fleet of things that went for sale, this sold a 1985 Mitsubishi Gallant, to which I kind of question, where's the line of old versus cool? Like, just because this is 1985, is that enough to make it cool that it's still around?
Ooh, so Kurt's not gonna like this. But isn't that sort of why the Corolla is cool?
I guess.
Because it was like a normal car that has then survived that long.
But how cool is the Corolla?
I think the Corolla is cooler than this, but
I think we should be asking the question, how cool is an 85 Gallant?
that's weird because I feel like several years ago I would have said this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
But then I look at this and I'm like, the front end is awful, but that steering wheel is cool.
Right.
It's got semi-interesting wheels.
All right. Well, before we get too into the details, because there is a lot more details, I came to the same conclusion of like, yes, I would have hated this car years ago because it was too, I guess it was too recent. It was too, like, these were just cars that people had. Like, why would I care about that? I wasn't, like, Kurt wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. Nobody had the Corolla in mind. But it was I think it was like the pure simplicity of it and the fact that it was like, oh, it is, front engine, rear wheel drive. It's a manual. And it's kind of like the most simple sports car you could actually buy, isn't it? And the fact that it was a Corolla was secondary.
Sports car?
It's a sports car, everybody. You heard it here first.
It's as close to a sports car as that era was really... Like, it wasn't any more anemic than the Celica was. So, so yeah, I guess what I'm saying is things definitely change over time as far as perspective goes. However, the Corolla was pretty affordable and a great, way to like dip your toes into the car world. I'm putting a lot of words in your mouth, Kurt. Sorry.
Thank you.
But the Gallant, I guess, is the same thing of the 80s. Because it sold for $2,200.
So,
before you say anything else, please look at the stalks on the steering wheel.
And how amazing they are?
They are incredible. Look
Wait,
at
what is
this. Look at this. This is the AC controls on the stalk.
So 85 had like steering wheel, like I can't change. I have not looked at a new car recently where you can change the temperature from the steering wheel.
From the steering wheel. It's just so crazy. It's crazy that
God.
they thought this was the future. It lasted for like a few years. Like, this stuff went away immediately after this.
Yeah,
Do you know how much money went into designing this crap?
So like,
No, but seriously, what's that big stick?
I wish I
have
could
no
tell
idea.
you.
Looks like a thumb drive, that like USB.
so
Is that the turn signal? You flick it up and it's.
I think it might be
right?
cruise.
maybe you might be right.
Oh no, because set and resume are here. Or is this bump up and down? I think it's
It's
turn
either the
signal.
like cruise control or the turn signal. Yeah.
I think it's turn signal.
So, like, there's a reason for this. There's a historical reason that late 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
There was the huge bubble in Japan, right? So they essentially had.
Did they
more
put
money than
regular
they-
soap in the dishwasher? My brother did that once.
They had more money than they knew what to do with. So that's how we got all these like iconic cars with these weird, crazy things. However, man, do I wish like anything modern had any sort of semblance of like personality or.
Well, we say
trying.
that, but we didn't think this had any character in 1990. How do you know that the things being made today were not going to be like, man, you remember how cool that Model 3 was?
We'll get to that.
That's the most disgusted I've ever heard ZK. Overall, this wasn't like a perfect car by any means.
Oh, that's a big hole. In the
Big ol' hole in that muffler.
You made it sound fast.
But
But
automatic.
at the same time, I believe if you brought this to a Radwood, you would be a contender.
For $2,200 or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is very hard to beat. And for $2,200, that is not like a huge investment, or like that's a laugh almost. Like,
Mhm. So yeah, this
That's a good
actually
joke.
made me feel better about the Rad for Sale whole meta, everything about it. Like the fact that this didn't go for crazy money, and the fact that it sold. Like the fact that somebody out there was like, yeah, this is something that I would fart around in.
that anyone bid on it.
It had 8 bids.
I'm saying like the fact that someone bid on it.
Oh yeah, like just the fact that somebody bid on it. Yep. It's good. It's good.
101 horsepower. Nice.
All right, Kurt.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Am I going to Kurt?
No, Kurt needs to go first.
Okay.
Get this over with. What I have for you is a bring a trailer 1974 Toyota 1000 4-speed. Still bidding open. Currently at 5,113. Or you know what I mean.
Wait, Pack Rat selling it?
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm like, Pack Rat.
Is Pack Rat
but-
just 311 backwards?
But yes, apparently, like everybody's trying to get their old yellow Toyotas on Bring a Trailer before I can.
Mm-mm.
Saturating the market. But this is like apparently was sold in South Africa
Huh.
and then imported here from Belgium.
Weird.
So apparently not a model we ever got, but it's even
It's basically a Corolla.
basically a Corolla, but smaller. Like it's
Smaller
even
and
says
slower.
in the description, it's based on a shortened Corolla chassis.
Huh. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Rear wheel drive?
The KP30, the Corolla was a KE30. I assume rear wheel drive. I never actually looked.
I
Looked like
didn't
I saw a diff in that picture.
I didn't see the Corolla's resemblance until I saw this picture, and it's like they didn't do much with the center. The front and back got squished in.
Mhm.
Huh. Oh, that's tiny.
It is rear wheel drive.
Yeah, 993 cc.
47 horsepower.
47 horsepower.
Rusty mufflers. That's the theme of the day.
Also rusty mufflers. Yeah. Mine was replaced. The whole new
That's a
boss.
good username.
Rusty mufflers.
Yeah, that's my new Twitch channel.
What does this say?
I have a close-up picture for you. It's
Toyota.
just a really, I like that badge.
Yeah,
that's a cool badge.
It reminds me of the Supra font from like the Mark IV Supra.
That they sort of tried to replicate with the Mark V.
Oh, that made me so mad. That made me so mad, ZK. I was so mad at that. Sorry. Toyota branded.
fire.
Yeah, you got to get that, Kurt.
That makes me worried.
A lot of people in the comments were worried as well, but apparently, perhaps even in South Africa, that was a regulation.
Yeah, that wouldn't make me
car
worried. That would make me like, oh, good, they're responsible. Like, if you have an old car, I carry extinguishers in all of my old cars because, like,
Sure, yes, but when Toyota themselves put a fire extinguisher in the car,
how could
sure that
anything?
when it was supposedly new,
How could anything go wrong in this? Like, there's nothing in here to go wrong.
such a cute little air cleaner.
God, everything about it is just so cute. It looks like it's repainted. Everything's too good under the engine bay and everything.
It
One would
looked-
assume. Oh, I
Much-
think it did say that it was repainted in the mustard yellow at some point.
Much like
'cause
yours.
it looked like the some of those hoses might have not been masked off.
Yeah. So, how many dollars is this at now?
Well, I guess when I took this screenshot earlier today,
Okay. So
yeah,
roughly.
it ends in 3 days. It's a no reserve. There was a lot of another thing in the comments. I didn't like screenshot any of them, but like people are like, "Oh, but the same color Corolla in '77,"
Mm.
and I'm like, "Just hang on, my
Just
friend,
hang on.
please, weeks maybe."
What you should do is when your auction goes live, just like tag them in it. Be like,
That's
It's still staying. Yeah, the bidding is still at the same price right now.
But that's good prospects, right?
yeah.
That is good prospect. That's a price.
It's nicer than yours as far as the body goes.
Mhm.
It's not as much of a looker. Not
No.
that the Corolla is like a stunning car, but it's at least kind of classy looking. This is kind of dorky looking. And this thing is even more anemic.
Yeah, it's less usable.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Celica wheels will help though. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Those were such a good find. I almost feel bad like selling the car with them, but no, yeah, it needs them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. Well, that is an interesting coincidence, really.
12-inch steel wheels.
12s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrapped
Good luck
in-
getting tires.
Wrapped in 6012s. Like they're not even the new style of tire sizing. Huh.
Yeah. Good luck getting those at discount.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bring Your Trailer as a podcast. Listen to us instead.
They're already listening, ZK. Like they're already here.
Well, listen. Just listen.
ZK, what have you done?
So what I did is, so apparently this is an ongoing thing. So I had this in my email this morning. Apparently Cone thinks an 18,000 mile Saturn 2002 Saturn SE2 is Bring a Trailer jumping the shark.
Oh yeah.
See, I have this personal opinion that he just thinks it looks like a shark, and therefore that defines his view of Bring a Trailer. But this sold today for $6,350, and I believe, I don't have any pictures of it, but I believe this was basically perfect. Like 18,000 miles, it was basically brand new.
It was basically brand new, and that's 6,350 is probably about what these things were selling when they were new.
You'd have to do the
Yeah, the inflation.
inflation, yeah. Now these specific cars, I think it was 01 and 02, had these like headlights that look like this. The earlier ones were like the hood was straight across, and I didn't like them as much. The SC2 is like a weird special, like, I like them for some reason that I don't know why. My brother did have an SC1 for a long time, and even though it was a pile, it was still a lot of fun to drive. And the SC2 has a dual cam with more power and everything, but this was an auto, so I didn't actually bid on it. However,
Wait, what? You were going to bid on it?
However,
like I said earlier, this is actually the segment where Zeke does what he wants, and instead of auction watch or even mildly interesting, we're getting into mildly infuriating. And as I also said,
Do you
I've
have
been
a theme
looking
song for that?
Yeah. Yes, please.
I don't know.
I like it. So we've been looking at a new car for Bonka, because if y'all aren't aware, we recently had a child, and
what?
a Fiat Abarth an Abarth 500, not necessarily the best family vehicle.
Come on, I watched that video where the guy put a car seat in a Lotus Evora.
Yeah, so technically the car seat will fit. However, other than the driver, no one else can fit in the car, basically. So recently we've taken to looking at new cars to replace it, as one does. And on paper, the Civic Type R is like, it checks all the boxes. 300 horsepower. It's a 4-door hatch. It's got a manual. It's fun. This specific one is, I think it's new for 2021. It's the limited edition. I think 2022, there's supposed to be a new generation of Civic, so this is like a last hurrah for the Type R. The normal Civic Type R sticker price MSRP is $38,500 or something like that. The limited edition is $44,900. It comes with stuff, special wheels. It's got like carbon bits on it. It's supposed to be lighter, yada yada yada. Anyway, it's like $5,000 more than the base model, or base model of the Type R.
Not confusing at all.
No. But on paper, a Type R is basically the perfect vehicle for us. It's fun. It's got enough room. It's a hatchback.
You're not going to like this.
What's that?
God, it's ugly.
Yeah, that is a problem with it. The limited edition is in this yellow, which neither of us really like, but I'm using this more as an example. All the modern Civics are overstyled. However, the Type R is almost overstyled enough to where it's like funny to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
To where I would just be like, sure, why not? It's hilarious. It's a joke.
You said this at some point, and I agreed with it. It's just like the thought of like pulling up somewhere, and you know the way this car is, teenagers and young adults are going to be like, "Whoa, look at that!" And then to see two frumpy parents getting their kid out of the back it's just a great image. Like that's just
We're like, just imagine Bonka stepping out of this thing.
Yeah. I enjoyed that thought as well.
Yeah. So, as we'll continue here, it's a car. It's got a bright red interior.
That's a terrible combination. Red and yellow?
Yeah. But it's got a manual. And if you aren't aware, currently in the United States, there is like 6 cars under $50,000 with a manual for sale.
I don't know why the pictures are doing this, but they're doing this.
There's weird reasons for this, but don't worry about it. The dealer website was weird and had to do some things to the pictures. So we actually went to go look at a Type R. It was not the limited edition. It was like a normal gray one, right? However, this brings me to this point. So this limited edition, they have a chat feature on their thing. They were like, okay, so it stickers at basically 45. I was like, so how much is this? You don't have any, and they were like, oh, you only want the window sticker and not the markup? I was like, how much markup? Markup is $37,797.
So you were probably thinking at that point, like, oh, the price with the markup is $37,797.
No. MSRP plus markup is about $82,000. They want $82,000 for a Civic.
I want to hurt myself hearing those words.
This is apparently not uncommon. In my recent, I don't know, research or whatever, actually talking to dealers, the limited edition has been selling. They've been asking for between $75,000 and $82,000 for these cars.
Who pays that?
I don't know.
Are there real people that do this?
So we went to go look at a Type R, not the limited edition, because obviously they want double the price for that one. I went to go look at one. We scheduled it. It was like a Saturday or something. I was like, yeah. So like I contacted them on a Friday. We're like, okay, we'll come by on Saturday. So we get there. Like, oh, so we sold this right before you got to, or someone signed for this. You can't even look at it.
So it didn't even exist, probably.
Yeah. So this was, if those are listening are aware, Houston's a big city. We drove an hour to go look at it. Because if you're not aware, Bonka is very short.
I've not.
And we basically wanted to make sure she fit in it and could sit over the dash.
Right, yeah.
So we drive an hour to go, sit in it. Apparently test drives are impossible, but I kind of went into that and expecting that. But they were like, no, someone just signed for this. Can't even go look at it.
That's such BS. Like, there's no way that you couldn't go look at it if it actually existed.
It's BS they didn't call me.
Right. But sadly, this is not the first time I've heard this about Honda.
Yeah. And some reason Honda, at least in the US, is treating the Type R as some like golden child thing. And it's not, I mean, sure, the limited edition is limited, but the Type R is not a limited production vehicle.
And I mean, they've done this over many vehicles, many times too. Like, this is not the first case of them doing that. It's like Honda is a dealership that really hates it when people buy their cars.
Yeah. So even after that, it's like, okay, whatever. We had other stuff to do on the side of town, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. But looking at other dealerships, just the base Type R is running between, with markup, $45,000 and $50,000.
I hate it. Am I supposed to advance, by the way?
I think this is the last picture. That's
okay.
why I put it at the end. Also, it has horrible 20-inch wheels, which is something that we would have to replace immediately.
Yeah, that's what you think you said. You were like, if I do this, you have to find 18-inch wheels.
Yes. So it's one of those things that also really infuriates me in the name of this segment. When automotive YouTubers or journalists or whoever, like, Civic Type R is the best car you can buy at $38,000.
Right.
Which is the MSRP.
Yep.
While they're selling, or at least being sold at, $50,000.
Yep.
Which is a very significantly different amount of money.
I've had this conversation with Ant before about how I think sometimes journalists get a little spoiled about choice because they, in their world, cars just exist. Like, yes, this is a car that exists and it says on this piece of paper, this is how you get it. But in the real world, it doesn't work that way pretty much ever.
No.
Like,
And
if you actually want the car that they're driving, yeah, they only made one of those option that way. You're going to have to deal with this one that doesn't have this option, but has all this other stuff you don't want. Like, that's the real world.
And to continue my tirade, so apparently people are actually buying them at these prices. Nearly all of the Type Rs that I have looked at in the past week are now sold.
I hate it.
It is ridiculous.
Do you
I
realize
hate it so much.
how, like, my entire childhood, I was like, I just know in my lifetime, I will never be able to afford $80,000 for a Dodge Viper. That's insane. How could anyone ever pay that much money for a car? And now somebody is going out and paying that much for a Civic.
Yes. And from what I've seen, this is definitely not an $80,000 car.
No.
It is a $20,000 car with, a couple $10,000 worth of extra drivetrain under it.
Gee, Kurt, do you know of any other companies that might sell vehicles for reasonable prices and have interesting packages available for anybody?
Interesting packages you're curious about.
Yeah.
I know all about packages.
For reference, the other cars that we have looked at in the past week are the Veloster Type N, or I guess Veloster N, not Type N. That wound up not working due to it's basically a coupe.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty small.
Yeah.
And doesn't work for what we want. It's not really any more practical than the Abarth.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And visibility out of it's awful. And the dealership the dealerships in our area, all of, like, for 2021, they came out with the DCT. So what do dealerships do? They order the DCT. We went to go look at it just to see if we fit, look at the interior and everything. Oh, sorry, you can't test drive it. It's our only one. Oh, you want a manual? Sorry, they're not really making them anymore. We can't really order. We could look for a used one. Fine, we're not in love with it anyway. Okay, whatever. We look at the, because like I said, the list of manual cars currently for sale under $50,000 is very short. And actually $50,000 is more than we can afford.
And especially one that, like, can fit people.
Yes.
Like, you're going to cross off Z and Mustang and Camaro and that kind of stuff.
Under 50 grand, or really under 40 grand with 4 doors.
4 doors.
Or, yeah. So then we go and test drive and they actually let us test drive a manual Corolla XSE hatchback.
Didn't Farah do a video on one of those recently?
I think so.
I think so.
Actually, not a bad car.
Oh.
The interior is very nice. The engine and transmission, nah. It's a decent car. But it lacks any excitement.
ZK,
But
automotive
same
journalist.
Corollas of every generation.
Supposedly, in theory, Toyota has said that we're going to get a GR Corolla.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
They'll have a
we'll
$40,000
see.
dealer markup. So,
That's what I'm worried about.
what about the
and-
Mazda?
Yes,
Okay.
the Mazda was the easiest one. They actually just dropped it off at our house to test drive.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it was a Mazda 3 manual, which is basically only available in the super base model or the premium hatchback. And it's the 2.5 Sky Active. It's not the turbo. You can't get the turbo in a manual.
That's silly, ZK. Why would you imagine you could do that?
I don't know. Maybe if you wanted the turbo, you'd want all-wheel drive and an 8-speed automatic. Anyway, that was actually a pretty nice car. Bianca hated the way it looks, and sure.
I don't love them either. No.
It was more exciting to drive than the Corolla. It has a nicer interior than the Corolla. It has like better features, but it's more expensive by that amount.
Mm.
So like if you really like the Corolla hatchback manual, but you want a little bit extra and you don't mind the way it looks, the Mazda is probably the way to go.
So the moral of the story is you're screwed.
Yes. The moral of the story is this is a continued depression of me, or like my continued depression of there not being any modern cars that I like. Because apparently when I bought the ST, I was apparently spoiled for choice.
Right.
I didn't realize this at this time. But now there's nothing. There is, like I said, there's like 6 cars. And for those that are like, but there's like 8. Yeah, I'm discounting any Subaru or German model. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to give you my pitch.
Kurt's
Or
been
Nissan.
ramping up for this.
I've
No
got
Nissans, no Subarus, no
on the line.
GTIs.
Why no GTIs? Just give me one good reason. Okay, you can't. Best ads of the week. The best ads of the week, or the best finds of the week, starts with reviewing last episode's winners, in which Kurt had the very long and now up for debate Citroen, as we can't decide if it's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. Still don't know. ZK had the questionably styled retro Nomad Caprice, and I had the not quite as cool as a Maserati mid-engined Datsun pickup. And with the new straw poll system that ZK hates because it doesn't look like a notepad from high school, the winner is ZK. How do you feel about the straw poll now?
These results look very professional.
We're a professional business organization. ZK got 42% of the vote. Sorry, 42.94% of the vote.
It's
Kurt
basically 43.
got 33.53% of the vote. And I again failed with 23.53% of the vote.
Honestly, this is closer than it usually is.
It's a nice distribution versus usually it's like winner?
like
and
Kurt
the other
gets
two.
90% of the vote, and then we're fighting for scraps.
Right, yeah. Yep.
Apparently, a lot of people like that Citroen too. Like, there was a lot of discussion of
Yeah.
like that, like the base car. They're like, "Oh my god, they ruined this somewhat like nostalgic car."
Could have fooled us.
Yeah, I had no idea about it.
We were like, "Ha, that's funny." Oh, All right. My entry for the best find is the best Audi that has ever been listed.
Was
This
it built by Ford?
is a 1987 Audi Allroad. It's actually a rare K car imported from Japan. It's a 1987 Suzuki Mighty Boy.
Strong lad.
It has been completely restored last year with a 3-cylinder 5-speed manual transmission. Wait, 3-cylinder 5-speed, yeah. It has AC, power windows, power brakes, new paint job, wheels, clutch, headliner, battery, brakes, muffler, and custom interior. And I don't think I've seen one of these stateside. I don't know if these get imported terribly often. Usually it's
I've
the
seen a couple.
utility truck versions, not this like, this is more like a ute, I guess.
If you want to call what was essentially like I think these were what's the Suzuki? I guess they were basically Altos,
Sure.
like small hatchbacks, but then they cut off the back and put a bed in there.
Mm-hmm.
But Mighty Boys.
It's pretty nicely redone. Like, it's very tasteful. I love the Mighty Boy plate. I love how completely, utterly useless this engine looks in the engine bay.
I
Yeah.
like how the head is basically the same size as the battery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really nicely done. Like, I feel like this is like a backyard restoration, but I don't know, something about it just looks nice. Like,
How do you feel about the asymmetric front grille?
I thought I would hate it, and then every time I've looked at it, I've like, I like it. I usually
I specifically remember something recently where you say you hate asymmetric
Yeah,
cars.
I had that
just for fun.
uh-huh in an automation build.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this one, it's the entire grille is designed this way. Like the slats, it's just a continuation of the slats on this side. It works. It just works, okay? I like it. It's
The,
adorable.
The Mighty Boy is based on the Suzuki Servo.
I don't know what that is.
Basically a hatchback, yes, that they've chopped the hatch off of.
That's exactly what it looks like. This looks like somebody cut it and put some trim over the cut line.
You think these came with like campers?
A camper? For who? Bonka? A camper. I think ZK sold my ad. That's where your vote should go. Kurt.
Oh God, what I have for you, that's the response I was looking for, is what is, I don't think there's much argument about the ugliest modern car ever made, a 2011 Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet, somehow made even uglier with these 20-inch or 22 huge wheels on it, and they want $15,000 for it.
With a salvage title.
With the
That's how much the
salvage
wheels
title.
cost.
Read the ad. Offers in person. Convertible, automatic, salvage title, smog okay. Only 66,000 miles. Low miles.
Having trouble with the top.
I know.
Now-
that's a
now-
problem.
Now you see why we're not looking at Nissans.
Oh boy.
Looks like fake.
So it's a
Like,
it's a donked out Murano cross cab. It's a nice color.
Get out.
What?
How
Look
dare you
nice.
say something nice about this?
You have to say something nice to soften the blow before you say it's a absolutely hideous, impractical,
the
stupid
worst
vehicle.
picture.
Yeah.
They got handicap plates too. Not that's less saying anything about handicap, but just about the owners of this car.
No, I think that's for the car. It's missing one of the exhaust, like fake exhaust tips.
Mm-hmm.
It has rear cup holders. And that's to prove it actually has 66,000 actual miles.
And the interior out of like a
Every
20
other Nissan from 20 years ago.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure that's the same cluster of like a 2001 350Z or something.
I need to clean my eyeballs.
So
Makes it sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So personally, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Hot take. I don't think the 22-inch wheels make it worse.
Because there's no floor lower than it could possibly go.
Right. Yeah. That's the only way you could save yourself right now. ZK.
At least it looks like someone might have had a laugh.
$15,000. We're laughing somewhere.
So, come.
Mm-hmm.
I know how you like your 1978 Subarus with a flat 4, all-wheel drive. Would you like that in what is essentially a side-by-side?
Why did they kill a Brat for this?
Cohen, you could have a Brat for $3,000.
Why did they kill a Brat for this? I hate that it's pretty well done, too.
It's very well done, actually.
I really hate it.
It looks like they did this like 10 years ago and it survived the whole time.
Huh.
But this is like a 2-row side-by-side that I'm pretty sure they used a Brat for the underpinnings of. Because they mentioned they used a like 78 or whatever Subaru 4x4. There's no engine bay pictures, so we can't actually see what it has, but like
Is
it's
the radiator's in the back.
Yeah, it's like a
Wait, is that the back? That's the back.
yeah, it's like a golf cart / side-by-side.
Oh, I can tell you right by that shifter, that's a freaking Brat. Or I guess it could have been
But
a
they
GL.
didn't even bother painting it. It's just
No,
tube
that used to be camouflage. Look at it. Used to be spray paint camouflage. And it's just
But how many years ago? How long has this thing been running? Is this one of the most reliable Brat conversions we've ever seen?
Finger.
Kurt has had. You're getting a contract renewal after this one. Oh boy. Why, ZK? Why did they do this? I have a feeling this was made before side-by-sides were a thing. Like, if side-by-sides existed, why would you make this, right?
So, I mean, the weird part is how well it's done, right?
Right.
Like, they had a tubing bender, and they knew how to use it. They notched the tubes, built the chassis and whatever.
It's symmetrical. It looks, I don't want to say engineered, but it looks like the design is logical. Like, a lot of the stuff we see is just like, no, that's not how physics work.
A measuring tape.
Right.
I like how the hood, quote unquote, looks like it weighs like 30 pounds, and it like I just imagine when you open it, it sounds like when you open a smoker.
Everything about this reminds me of the bed of the ramp truck.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm still sad,
like,
but
I can only assume that as they did, the Brat they started with rusted out or something.
right.
But like the drivetrain still worked or some whatever, or maybe it was wrecked or who knows.
I'll give it a neat.
$3,000.
$3,000.
That's cheaper than any 2-row side-by-side that you can buy.
Boy,
The only
that's
thing they'll take a
16
trade
or
for-
1800cc engine.
something you'll what?
I was gonna say the only trade they'll take is a rock crawler with 4 seats.
Oh,
They've
well,
got 3 other people that they need to take with them wherever they go.
but
Is what we're learning here.
But the only trade I would look at is a rock crawler with 4 seats. But but
But you have one.
that's what you have. Trade complete. All right, the voting this week is for the mighty Audi,
The strong
Strongest
lad.
boy.
strongest boy, or the awful,
Ugliest boy.
ugliest boy, or for trade complete. Those are your choices. Make sure you look below the video and click on the straw poll to vote for who you think had the best find of the week. This has been an extremely long episode that I hope I get done, edited, and posted in time for tomorrow at noon. I'll try my darndest. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition.
I hate it.